Good afternoon. It's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
So exciting. Thrilling.
That's right.
I like this color.
Yeah, it's
nice
kind of
bright.
fall, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a pumpkin.
Like a pumpkin. I almost wore something orange today. That's the funny thing.
Huh?
Yeah.
Almost matched.
Almost. We've been quite clashing. So yeah, episode 96 is what we're at, inching
Excellent.
ever closer to 100.
Please like and subscribe so you can help us grow our viewership.
Yes, help other people understand real estate in the valley.
So a lot to cover. We're going to do a quick joke, quick history, and then we're going to get right into a little bit of news. We'll try to bullet point it as much as possible because Julia's going to cover the Cromford Report review that she attended yesterday. And then we'll go over rates, and then I'll wrap it up with inventory.
There you go. There's your recap. As always, I put chapters, what they call chapters. YouTube calls them chapter markers. So basically, you can fast forward to any part of the video that you like.
Okay.
So for my joke,
Okay.
I'm going to do 6 ways sellers can scare buyers.
Okay.
Kind of funny, kind of tips.
Okay.
Tips you can use.
Multi-use.
Right.
Okay.
Hang around during showings. Please don't do that. Bad smells in the house always makes buyers wonder what's going on. Listing the house for 2021 prices. Have family pictures all over the house.
Yeah, we want them to see what it looks like, or imagine what it looks like with their family pictures in there.
Last 2 are my favorites. Keep one door, hold on a second. Keep one door in the house locked and put up a sign that says, do not enter. What is in there? Include dolls in the listing photos.
That's just creepy.
I'm sorry, it's
Yeah.
creepy. And my mother is a doll collector, so I get it. I get the fascination, but dolls are
Just
creepy in the pictures.
Box them up and put them away while you're showing the home.
What
or
I
selling
always
the home.
tell clients when they're selling is, if you're going to pack it up anyway, pack it up now.
Yeah,
Just pack it up.
less clutter.
Right.
All right, that was good tips.
Okay.
I liked it. All right, I don't need Google. My wife knows everything.
Very good. I'm so impressed that you understand that now and
Yeah.
know it.
All right, moving on. A little bit of news this
Moving
week.
on.
1995, the Million Man March takes place October 16th in Washington, D.C. This was a gathering of African American men to promote unity and family values. 1989, the San Francisco area is struck by a massive earthquake October 17th, killing 67.
Yeah. Okay.
I remember this because it sticks in my memory because I was watching the World Series at the time.
And was the World Series in San Francisco or something? Or
Yeah.
yeah. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Oakland.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That's scary.
Yeah. The
Okay.
Oakland A's were in. 1987, on October 16th, baby Jessica McClure is rescued from a Texas well after 58 days. I remember it as playing like live nonstop.
Oh, yes, nonstop.
Just to see how because they had to come in sideways. They couldn't like dig down because it could have collapsed on her. So they had to come in.
They had to come down.
Yeah, I remember when they brought her out. It was amazing. She's now 34 years old, and she still lives in Midland, Texas, 2 miles from where the incident happened. So.
Prefers not to be called Baby Jessica now.
She says some people do still call her Baby Jessica. It's kind of a nickname that stuck. Yeah.
Okay.
1977, on October 18th, Reggie Jackson hits a record 3 home runs in a
Reggie
World
Jackson.
Series game.
Yes, indeed.
1968, spacecraft Apollo 7 splashes down October 22nd after orbiting Earth 168 times.
Ooh.
1959, New York's Guggenheim Museum opens to the public October 21st.
59, okay.
Finally, 1469, Ferdinand weds Isabella October 18th, uniting the dominions of Spain. So that's
Very
a little
good, very good.
history for this week.
Okay.
Let's go into a little bit of news. Housing news gets a little repetitive, but there are little nuances
Hopefully
going
we have
on.
some September stats finally. It's the middle of October, right? Come on.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
The needle's not moving a whole lot, but it is moving somewhat, so we're going to cover it.
Okay.
Mortgages surged to 20-year highs last week after inflation numbers came in hotter than expected. While the Fed doesn't set mortgage rates, expectations of Fed policies correlate with consumer rates, such as mortgages.
Right.
So unfortunately...
So it's a correlation, not a causation necessarily.
Right, and we're going to go over that with a little more detail,
Yeah.
and I have a little additional detail to interject, so we'll come back to that issue.
We'll come back.
Rising ARMs, adjustable rate mortgage, with average 30-year fixed rate mortgage rates rising, adjustable rate mortgages or ARMs are seeing renewed demand.
Yes, for sure.
It's a product that we saw pretty substantially in the
You were seeing
2008.
like a 7-year ARM. Well, yeah, we did see like a 5-year
But those were
ARM.
subprime loans.
Subprime.
And the loans that you would be getting now on an ARM are solid loans, not subprime.
Right.
The ARM can be fixed for up to 10 years, but are considered riskier because the rate eventually adjusts to the market rate.
Right.
So you can, if you're not staying on top of it, it can be a big jump in your mortgage monthly rate.
The one that we've been
overnight.
highlighting is a 7-year ARM, so adjusting to market rate. So after 7 years, you have to figure out, okay, is it going to adjust to something I like, or can I refinance to a better rate? You know.
Yeah, before it
depends.
expires, make sure you
Figure out if it's
figure
going
out
to
what
be a
you're gonna do.
good rate. It might be a good rate.
Yeah. So overall applications, mortgage applications fell 2% for the week ending October 15th.
That makes sense because sales are down.
Actually, the mortgage application activity has dropped to the slowest pace since 1997, according to the Mortgage Bankers Association. So
Okay.
it's really slowed down.
Okay.
Okay, moving on to some economic news. Inflation stays hot. Consumer prices rose 0.4% in September and were up 8.2% from a year ago. And I'm going to touch base on that. Do you touch base on that in the
I've got some
Cromford
information
Report?
on the CPI. Yeah, that's
Okay,
the
because
CPI that they're
I
talking
got a
about.
little information to talk about on both of those subjects.
Good.
You really need to read every word sometimes when you read the news. Workers' wages took a hit, falling 0.1% monthly and 3% year over year when adjusted for inflation. So last week, I believe we reported that they were actually up. Not a lot, but it was like 0.3%. But if you adjust it for inflation, it's actually down. So
Right.
all right, spending is flat. Consumer spending was flat in September against higher prices and interest rates. This happens every time. I'm not sure why. What was up is online stores, bars, and restaurants saw increases. So I guess we're drowning our sorrows. And going to
I
the
think
bars.
so. Yeah, we're assuaging the pain with retail spending and going out. Yeah. So.
All right, global outlook. Last week, the International Monetary Fund predicted somber global growth.
The IMF.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't ask.
My job.
The
Yeah,
IMF,
come on.
The International Monetary Fund. That's right.
It's a new one, so.
Classic derail on your
Derailing,
part
I'm
there.
sorry.
Let me
It's
get
my job
train
here
of
too,
thought
yeah.
back here. They
Okay.
predicted somber global growth of 2.7% in 2023, but that's down from 6% in 2021. So pretty substantial slowdown. The IMF cited 3 major events creating economic volatility: Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a cost of living crisis, and China's economic slowdown. And actually, I saw on the news today that they are not reporting.
Sorry.
And they're delaying it, and the speculation is that the report is bad.
It's really,
So
it's
they
got to
don't
be bad.
wanna-
They keep closing down whole parts of their country. It's got to be bad.
Yeah,
Sorry.
you know, that's a sounding board point for you.
It is. Please continue.
Okay, regulatory news. Drury Productions, the Fed expects higher interest rates to remain long term, according to its September meeting minutes, which we've already covered. They increased, at that meeting, they increased the rate 0.75% to between 3% and 3.25%. A similar hike is expected in November. So this is interesting. We keep comparing the housing market now to 2008, and they're really not the same by any stretch of the imagination as apple and orange, but this is a little closer. Feels like 1979. The housing economy of today closely mirrors 1979 rather than the housing crash a decade ago. In 1979, the Fed raised rates to fight inflation. Sound familiar? Yeah. This time it was due to oil embargoes and mortgage rates soared, just like they're doing now. Followed by the global calamity of the 1980 Iran-Iraq War. So that's where we saw the huge increase, and it was shortages. There was gas shortages and long lines and all that. So that was all tied to that. This time, pandemic inflation was followed by the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
Gives me indigestion too.
So again, you had two double whammy things going on at the same time, just like in 1979.
Now here's my fear with that. We know what happened following the 1979 crisis you're citing. 1980s was some of the highest mortgage rates ever.
Yeah, they were ridiculous. So, I've had people tell me stories. We had an interest rate of 17%.
Yeah. And I'm remembering anywhere from 13 to 17% is what we've heard.
What is that mortgage payment at 17%?
Wow. Oh my gosh. All right, so are we ready for my good stuff here?
I'm ready to be quiet, and no, that's not going to happen. But
that's not going to happen,
Take it away.
I'm going to start, first of all, with some quick September stats. It feels like we're still talking about August. Okay, let's get into September already. It's the middle of October.
Let's get caught up here.
So quick stats on September are there were 6,328 sales. That's pretty healthy, not bad. Median sales price is at $439,000. Not bad. So I think that's come down some. We all know that, right? The average sales price was $528,824, which we always know the average is going to be higher than the median. The average lease price was $2,311. So there's those quick stats. There will be some more September numbers that come up during this, but just wanted to give you guys those numbers. First thing that they started out the Cromford Report with, Tina did, is basically a warning and just sharing with us all to watch these headlines that we see. Foreclosure fears is one that she cited. And it's just clickbait. That's all it is, clickbait. Trying to get you to click on it, to support them, to use their services, whatever it is. So
see their advertising.
Watch out for that. Yeah, and she pointed out there was talking about foreclosure fears, and South Dakota was the state that it's going to hit the hardest. And it was a percentage of a percentage that they decided that's what made South Dakota more likely for these foreclosures. So again, just watch what you're reading and really boil it down, kind of like you were pointing out. Watch every single word that you're reading. She also went into, she being Tina Tambour, Greater Phoenix Economic Council, talking about new jobs. 10,859 new jobs. Again, these are like September stats, I think.
Nice.
So very healthy and robust economy here in the Valley. Talking about different job growth and where they're coming from. Quite a bit from China, Taiwan, which we know. The big Taiwanese semiconductor manufacturing plant coming to the North Valley here. Good?
Yeah.
Am I good so far? Okay.
Yeah. Right on point.
Okay, so a lot of job growth is what she's covering, saying again, the Valley is a very healthy economy. Yes, we are in some inflation, we all know that. And we certainly are feeling the effects of the pandemic and what it's doing to the economy.
What's the 20% California? Is that where 20% of our job growth is coming
It
from?
is.
Companies coming from
It is
California?
actually, yeah. A big portion of it was California. California, China, and Taiwan were the
Okay.
big ones. And I think China Intel?
Couldn't tell you, but I know
Intel?
we have
Okay.
Intel here, so that's
Yeah,
all
Intel
I care
is huge.
about.
Yeah. Intel is part of that big job growth. So anyway, she went also into the CPI, the Consumer Price Index,
Very good.
saying that yes, inflation has surged more than expected. Inflation has surged more than expected. The goal is 2%. And if the CPI index continues the way that it's going, we should hit that 2% in inflation base during April or May, somewhere in that time frame.
Of 2023?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
That was one point that Donald Simpson was making
Okay.
of Bell Bank, was these numbers that we see are a rolling number. So it may seem like we're only seeing it tick down by 0.1%
Right.
or whatever, but the thing we got to remember is it's a year rolling. So every time we may only get that little bit of tick down, it's replacing a much, much higher number.
Yeah, it's 12 months.
It's 12-month
12
period.
months.
So when it comes down, it's replacing, kicking off
Right.
a really bad September number,
Yes.
even though it's not at 2% yet, but it's still lower than what
Right.
that previous September was, or August was, or October, or November. And it's just going to keep driving that number. And I think that's why that seems really, really quick, but that's the reason why, is because this rolling number is actually going to
Well, I'm going to give
come
you a
down
quicker
faster.
number. I'm going to give you a quicker number.
Okay.
We're waiting for the PCE to come out, which is the Personal Consumption Expenditure, which is another index
Okay.
that comes out, and where these things are, how they're impacting the economy is what we look at. And if that index continues the way that it's been going, we'll actually feel some relief by February or March.
That would be really nice.
So this is really good. We'll have that index that will be released at the end of this month, the end of October.
Okay.
So watch for that. Those
Looking
are
forward to that one.
positive things that came out. Yeah. So moving into September statistics, actually these are up to date by the week. She does it by the week. October 16th, accepted contracts. Contracts are down. The number of accepted contracts is down.
That's a given.
Yeah, we're down 42.3% from last year at this time.
Ouch.
Yeah, down 16.4% from 2014. And if you remember, we look at 2014 because inventory was similar, and so were interest rates, I think. I forget why she looks at 2014.
Just a good comparable
It's a
benchmark
good
to where
comparable,
we're at
yeah,
now.
exactly. The contract ratio, it's still pretty chilly. Ratio is 33.2%. So we have active listings is right around 19,500, changing number every day. And she goes active. She does not put in. Yeah, you've got a little bit more than that.
Yeah, I'll go into that.
She
too.
doesn't put in coming soon either. So.
Oh, good. Okay.
Under contract is 6,483. So great numbers, really. It is a slow market right now. It is. I think you had looked at Trilogy and you saw 6 under contract.
Unfortunately,
last 30
we're
days.
a little worse than that.
Oh, okay. We'll get to those numbers.
Yeah.
Hold that.
Keep going.
So supply versus demand, where are we at with the Cromford Market Index is what they call it. And that helps us decide whether or not we're in a seller's market or buyer's market or somewhere in between. We are somewhere in between. We have 80.2 in supply, 80.3 in demand. So we are like nailing it. We are balanced. So that's great, to some degree.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Oh, all right.
On that number, that calculation that you're using, do they do under contract?
Under contract is 6,483.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And active.
That helps a little bit. Okay,
Okay.
carry on.
Okay. So active and under contract listings, we know we're at a positive 163%, which is excellent. That's great. From March of this year, we only had 4,553 active listings. Now we're over 19,000 per these numbers. Robert's numbers are even better. So that's great.
No, mine are worse.
Oh.
Carry on.
Construction permits are down. We've talked about this a little bit. August, builders sold more than permitted, so August numbers were good, but they are down now. 33 days on market is your median days on market. So that's up slightly. I think it was. It's been moving a little bit higher every month, but not too bad. Let's see here. Sales price to list price, we're still hanging out around 95 to 97%. So what that means is what a home it sells for versus what it's listed for. So you're getting about 95 to 97% of what you're asking. If what you're asking is when you get the contract, basically.
That seems low to me. I mean, I'm used to the rule of thumb being 98, so when I hear 95, that's pretty low.
Yeah,
well,
and
97.9,
Yeah.
that's 98. But
she breaks it down by price range, which I didn't break it down. I just gave a range of 95 to 97.9%.
okay, what was that percentage again? I'm sorry, that calculation from the previous thing we were talking about. 33.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I won't ask you anymore.
Keeps derailing me.
I'm done. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Median sales price, we did see a drop in at 7 to 8% in our median sales price. So
Okay.
that is really about the bullet point statistics. She highlighted at the end, Tina highlighted at the end, October and through December is seasonally the best time to buy. And so Robert and I had a discussion a few weeks ago about whether builders are going to be dropping prices or raising prices towards the end of the year. I found some examples of both in one community.
From one builder, it was a mixed bag. Yeah.
It was a mixed bag. Yeah, the homes that were under 30 days on the market, their inventory homes that were under 30 days on the market, they raised prices. I didn't get a percentage or anything, but they raised prices. And then I think I actually have it.
Yeah, the ones,
Here.
so they were like 47 days, I think, if I remember right.
47 days they had dropped significantly.
Okay, so they got a mathematical calculation there once it hits, what is it, 40?
Yeah.
45? Maybe 45?
Maybe 45
We'll have to
days.
see when they actually did that, but...
There's a 30 days on market, and that one is more.
okay, they increased
They
that.
increased that one. 31 days. There's one that's been increased.
So it must be 45 days. Once it hits 45 days, they drop the price.
Yeah.
It's just a theory, we're
Just
guessing.
a theory.
But
Yeah. And like
All
I
right.
said, it was only one builder that I had surveyed, and we'll keep an eye on that because it's an interesting study, I guess, just to see what builders are doing this year versus previous years.
as we get towards that end of the year, they're going to try to get them on the books, so they're going to do some drastic cuts, and Julia predicts no.
I predict no based on previous years, but like I said, it'll
We'll
be
see.
interesting.
Every
to
year's
see.
different.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Rates did go up. The 30-year went from 6.586 to 6.939. Again,
Ugh.
these are indices. These are not what you will
We are
necessarily
inching
qualify
closer to 7
for.
though. Whew.
I know.
All right.
All right, 15-year 5.866, up to 5.973, and the VA went from 6.297 up to 6.600.
Okay.
Inventory continues to climb up about another 300. We're now at 20,642. Also up in Peoria and Surprise. Peoria is at 736. Surprise is at 933. Trilogy currently has 47 homes available. Price range $514,000 to $1,450,000. Vistancia Village has 51. Most affordable $357,000. Most expensive $1,198,000. Blackstone Country Club has 11. 595 your most affordable. $2,790,000 tops your list. Portobello 28, 425 the most affordable. 949,900 the most expensive. Sun City Grand is over 100 now, 107, 359,900 the most affordable, and they have a home over $1 million. 1,059,000.
Wow. Okay.
Sun City West has 193. I thought they might hit 200 this week, but they didn't.
Pretty close. Yeah.
Most affordable 209,900, and most expensive 869. Finally, Westbrook Village has 41 homes available.
Okay.
Still a very tight range. 299,000 is your most affordable. 595,000 is the most expensive.
That is a tight range. Only $300,000 range among 40 properties.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Finally, closer to home here, Trilogy at Vistancia has sold 7 homes in the last 30 days.
That's pretty slow, guys.
Ouch.
That's pretty slow.
So Trilogy at Vistancia under contract, there are currently 11 homes under contract. So if we apply your ratio of
Under
averaging
contract
valley-wide 33%, we're at 23.40 for Trilogy. So Trilogy is a little bit behind the curve.
Yeah.
However, Vistancia Village has sold 10 homes in the last 30 days, and they currently have 19 under contract.
Okay.
So with 51 available, that puts their ratio at 37.25. So they're actually ahead of the curve.
We have a better contract ratio.
Yeah.
Which
So-
the lower the contract ratio, the more the more homes in inventory you have, basically. So,
Right.
You've got 47 currently in Trilogy. Under contract
11.
is 11. So you are close to 3 months inventory.
Well, the
Just based on that.
23.40, whatever that ratio
Close to
comes,
4.
but yeah, I gotta believe it's close to 4.
Yeah, it's close to 4. But
Yeah.
yeah, we know it's going to change some.
Okay.
So,
All right, that's our report for this week. A lot of information to share with you.
just remember, too, before you say that, just remember, too, if there's anything that you'd like us to answer, put it in the comments below. Feel free to email it to us directly. We get comments. Recently, this week, it's all been, hey, thanks for the info, very helpful, kind of thing, which is great, too. We love those comments. But if there's anything that we're missing or any news that you'd like us to report
Just
on,
something you're curious
let us
about that
know.
you'd like us to do research on, we would love to dive into that. So
Yeah.
don't hesitate to reach out.
Yep.
All right, everybody have a blessed week, and we will see you again next week. Take care.
Soon.